for me? Is there not any blessing? And if you look at chapter 27, I'll just show it to you. Verse 27.
And he came near and kissed him.
This is Jacob kissing his father Isaac.
And he smelled the smell of his clothing and blessed him and said, surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed.
Did you see that field there? Have you seen the field? And it's blessed, right? Good. It's not just any field. They are unblessed fields. Like Hebrews 6 will tell you. But this field is blessed. Yes? Go on. Next verse.
Therefore may God give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine.
So where do his blessings come from? Heaven and earth. When Esau came to him in verse 37, and we'll read all the way to verse 39, so you have context. Go on.
Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, indeed, I have made him your master.
This is Isaac talking to his first son, who came back and said, what? You stole my blessing? And he's crying to his father. And he says, I have made him your
master and servant. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son?
Then look at what he scratches for him.
And Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered and said to him, behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above.
Now, give me NIV, whatever A stands for.
His father Isaac answered him, your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above.
NIV here reads, now you're wondering, that's like the opposite of what I just read, right? Translations, wahala, not as straightforward as you think. And each side will give you what they are written. NIV here says, your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dwelling of heaven above, away from it. The earlier verse had said, may God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness. The next said, now if you look at the next few verses, next two verses, you will think, yeah, maybe it's away from it truly. Go on.
You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob.
Verse 40.
You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck.
All right. He says you live by the sword and serve his brother. So do you still think both of them got the same blessing, the dew of heaven above and earth? If it's the same blessing, then how is he serving his brother? So there's a translation, Sinafu, there's something in the original languages that is a source of some consternation in interpretation, and I would be more prone to go with the second. Edom had issues. Now they were blessed too, but the Bible talks about them being in servitude until they would grow free. And I could give you a little history how I have in the past. How Herod was an Edomite. and ended up ruling over Idumea. Is Edom, Idumee. You've come across that word in your Bible, especially in the King James, I suppose. And you wonder, what is that? Idumea. And that is Israel. That's Edom. And I would summarize it by saying there tends to be greater carnality in the present Israel. Israel in the present is very carnal. A lot of them are very godless. Many are atheists. But even back then, even in the time of Jesus, they would kill. That prophecy came in the time of Jacob. Time passed. By the time Israel went as a slave into where? By the time Israel was a slave in Egypt, yes, and came out. By the time they came heading towards the promised land, Mount Seir, which is Edom, was already settled, yes? They didn't go into slavery in the same way. Israel went. You know this whole thing about it seeming that someone else is doing better than you first. Anyone read the Exodus? You saw it. You remember Deuteronomy when they got there, God said, don't try to take the land of Edom. I've given it to them as an inheritance. They were already settled. Have you heard the principle of the first shall be the last shall be the first? That's why you shouldn't bother too much if you seem to be trailing behind in anything, including marriage. Shouldn't bother. It's not, the race is not for the swift. Provided you're obeying God and doing God's will. Israel arrives there. Ammon is in place. Moab is in place. Edom is in place. All those are his relatives. Do you know that? All those are his relatives. All. When God talks about them, he differentiates. He says, these ones are your relatives. Don't try to drag their land. I'm not giving it to you. Let me show you the land I'm giving you. You see Canaan land? Canaan. Remove that guy. But the rest around, it's their land. I gave it to them too. He says he gave it to them. So he had settled them. But some of them, the way they settled is the way the prodigal son was settled. You know that the prodigal son was settled before his older brother? Come on, are you seeing the prodigal son? Older brother. The prodigal son was the younger brother. He collected before his older brother. It looks really ridiculous. Don't even imagine what people say about you. Look at this one. Your juniors are. And you get all worked up and do stupid things. Mr. Mrs. Senior. Don't do stupid things because of age. You dare not. If the biblical pattern should serve you, Jesus constantly said it, the first shall be the last shall be the first. He kept saying it. The first will be the last will be the first. You do something because you're the older one. You do something because you came first. You do something, not because the Holy Spirit told you to do it. Not because God pushed you. Where is Jesus' inheritance? He seated quietly as the Father said. People are running, dragging for positions to be president of a nation for this, that. Jesus, who is the first, is going to come last. Computers, yes? Dell. Michael Dell. Dell Technologies. Oracle. Software and the rest. Bloomberg. Newspaper and everything. All of them are Jews. Comcast. Mighty TV network. Estee Lauder. You know, women. You don't. It's well with you. We are broadcasting from Nigeria. Do not hold this against us. Which female knows Estee Lauder? Esteelauder. They are fashion. It's a fashion. You just a signboard in a movie. You just saw that signboard in the movie as the camera was moving. Skincare products, all of that. They are really big. They are really big. They are amongst the foremost in the industry, okay? Warner Bros, yes? You watch TV. Sony Pictures. Why? Was begun by Harry Cohn, Columbia Pictures, which became a part of Sony Pictures under his leadership. Marvel Entertainment. Yeah, Marvel Comics, Martin Goodman. You should know that the people that drew Superman and all that were Jews. The people that came up with the idea. Jews are everywhere. They are, you just don't know. They are everywhere. So the whole earth is running on Jew power. Fact. And they are very few. Yeah. So what makes them so shocking is how few they are. The whole Jewish community is one or two of our states. Or three. Yes, now. How? You think they're plenty? There are not many. Tens of, how many Jews? I need to cross-check that. DreamWorks. Yeah. Home Depot is considered the largest home improvement retailer in the United States. The biggest place where you go and buy things for your home. Home Depot is synonymous with, in the United States, the biggest. Thousands of stores owned by Bernie and Arthur. Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank. We work. Co-work experts. Who knows who they said was the richest man, either at the beginning of last year or this year? Who has come? You've come across the name Arnault. Bernard Arnault. Yeah. His mother is a Jew. You tend to find them. Now I could go on. You mentioned the top actors in the world. Jew. There are Jews everywhere. Yeah, just everywhere. Business, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. And it has always. Now, why? How can a small group of people. There's a reason people hate them. So Louis Vuitton, which, well, Bernard Arnault owns LVMH, which the LH there is Louis Vuitton now. LVMH. So that guy that they said was the richest man at the time and all that. You've heard of Starbucks? You've heard of Pfizer? I should stop, right? But again, are you bothered that one small group of people so waiting we can't remain? This is exactly what Esau was asking. What remain? So you should understand what was the issue. Understand what is the power of the blessing. I like to say it's a wonderful thing, but it's a terrible thing, seeing I'm not Jewish. Intel. It's on your computer. Intel Corporation. Or what kind of computer do you have here? Calvin Klein. That CK on that shot. I know it's fake, but that. Snapchat. Who knows LinkedIn? Qualcomm, you see it on wireless technology. Qualcomm, you see it? Qualcomm, oh dear God. You should have seen it. Qualcomm. Victoria's Secret. Why do you know Victoria's Secret? Can you afford? So they make things for women. I should stop. I'm sure, there are way more than this. We haven't even gone to the food industry. Food. All kinds of foods, that brand names. Jews. How can one group, one country, one small group own things that the whole world runs on? Now, are you understanding a little of, so you read that in the Bible, you go oh yeah, Israelites try. No. It's a bit more than that. So the abnormality of their should I say resourcefulness or blessedness? Or now, I don't normally refer to material things as a blessing per se, but do you remember the field? How did we read it? Come on, show it back to us. Show it to us again.
Behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth.
So have you seen of what? The fatness. Do you understand? That means the excess. That's that. Like when the earth oozes, they collect it. This is the Jewish. This is what they were given. God passed it on. The fatness of the earth. Now in Jesus, very well, should I go ahead of myself? No, let me torment you a little more. Guess jeans, denim jeans. Guess. Yep. The Marciano brothers, Jewish heritage. So they could be from Morocco. You hear there's from this, that. They could mention all sorts of countries, but they were Jews in that country. So if they say, oh, they were Moroccans, so they were from here, just check small. You hear them say he's an American. Just take one step back. You hear that Jewish immigrants, so they became American citizens, but all sorts of, Mark Zuckerberg, oh, yes, Berg, their names. Stein, if it has Stein in it, it has Erg in it, it has Cohen in it, has all of that. You know you're looking at a Jew. Benaries, ice cream. HBO. TV station, HBO. HBO means home box office. All right. I'll hit you very hard now. Let me read it. Walt Disney's business partner, Roy O. Disney, was married. Disney himself was not Jewish. His brother and business partner, Roy Disney, married into a Jewish family. Together, they built the Walt Disney Company. Now, you know the funny thing about the Jewish blessing? It's often said that you inherit Jewishness from your mother's side also. Yes, it's like an official thing, is allowed. So they would have that. All that NBC, Sun Microsystems, and all of these are internationally recognized brands. All of them are an example of the fatness of the earth. The fatness of the earth. Because God spoke it over them, they collected it. Was Jacob thinking of this when he asked for the blessing? I don't know. I don't know. I presume Jacob liked spiritual, he liked physical things. The Bible tells us he was a man of the tent. If he was a man who loved physical things, I think Esau loved physical things. He was always out roaming, hunting. A hunter. Someone who hunts wants something, Abby. Someone who stays at home, it doesn't look like he's very driven. Yes? Genesis 25 verse 27.
The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents.
Do you see Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents? So when his brother comes in that day and says he's very hungry, and he says, sell me your birthright for some food. You have to understand the birthright. What's their story? They are sons of Isaac. The father of Isaac is Abraham. He had heard of the blessing. Those who bless you will be blessed. Those who curse you will be cursed. There's a blessing. There's the inheritance. Is it a physical thing? Oh, the land. Is he thinking of that land? Okay, birthright. A birthright is a double portion. I've told you what it means. Literally means the one who collects double. Okay, so let's say he had that in mind. Whatever it is will be given. I want the bigger portion. I want more of it. Now, don't be so angry at Jacob anymore. Why? Because when what's his name asked for a double portion, you didn't get angry. Elisha. Nobody has thought of getting angry yet. And so don't be hypocritical. Cool down. You didn't shout at Elisha. Don't shout at Jacob. Okay? So, scripturally, he collected that blessing. The Bible tells you that Esau despised the blessing. He despised it. He didn't care for it. He said, "What use is it to me if I'm going to die?" And for those who think, I've always pictured that he was dying. Dying people don't talk much. Neither do they walk in. They don't walk. When you are dying from hunger, you don't stroll in. Once, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, famished. Do you know what it means to be famished? Who has been famished before? You think it means dying from hunger? No, that's not what it means. He came in. Do you notice he walked in? They didn't find him. And they didn't bring him in. He walked in on his legs. If you're dying, you can't even walk. You'd have been hungry for maybe 21 days, 30 days. May have been that hungry or staggering. Not the one you went out. Then you came back. Walked in, sat down by yourself. You didn't stagger to your own tent. You didn't stagger to your mother's kitchen. You staggered to your brother's own. Who knows why? Because that's where his smell was coming from. Let's say it was his mother's kitchen, his brother was cooking, yeah. But they weren't small boys, by the way. In case you think they're small boys. They were not. That's not how it worked. But let's not take up your time with that. He goes in and he sits down. And the scriptures tell you what happened after that. Next verse.
He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished."
Next verse.
Jacob replied, "First sell me your birthright." "Look, I am about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?"
Next verse.
But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob.
Is that all?
Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil. He ate and drank and then got up and left.
You see the way he came is the way he got up and left. Do you notice? In all of it, you can see the tent door going through. Give me some of that, your stew. He didn't come to sell bread. He came just to collect food. Immediately, the guy said, "Swear to me." He said, "What if I'm about to die?" Very, very, very dangerous fellow. Absolutely does not care about what matters. Then he sits down. Then the brother gives him, he eats it. See the way he leaves. Doesn't stand and say, "I've eaten, I was joking," or "That thing is not true." No. He swore easily. Says, "Swear to me first." How many of you know that if you're really hungry and your brother is dragging, that you can drag the food and oh, you can go to kill your brother, but you cannot drag food from him. Yeah, you see. Who are the brother here? How many of you know if they do too much younger, you grab? What kind of play is that? Is it because you grab, even if they are chasing you, you're taking some before they catch you, some is gone. Who used to do those kind of things here? Girls, look at girls are even raising their hands. I was saying guys, and I mean the females are as guilty. So what's my point? He did